Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, I am back home now. Got back home early hours of Friday morning after a delay in the flight. Not through Alicante's fault, through Stansted's fault. So I didn't leave Alicante till like 10 o'clock at night. So I didn't get home till about 3 o'clock in the morning. And then had to get up for work a couple of hours later. So yeah. Quite tiring, but no, all back, all good, and at least I'm back safe and sound, which is the main thing. Joined by Roly. How are you, Roly?
Oh, absolutely, positively Champions League, and I can't wait for Dortmund on Wednesday.
Absolutely. Anyway, if you like what you see, please do smash the like. It really does help the channel, so do smash that like. Thank you very much. If you are brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come be part of this great community we have here. And also that bell notification tells you when I'm live, how I pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. If you do want to become a member, it's 99p. Just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by hitting the $sign as well. So, right. Let's get into some comments first of all and see what's going on. Bia says, afternoon, Tony and Uncle Roly. Good afternoon to you, Bia. Hope you're well. Kong says, afternoon all. Good afternoon to you, mate. Hope you're well too. Gary says, hi, Tony and Roly and Bia and everyone else. Good afternoon, Gary. Hope you're well. Kong says, got to be considered actual title prospects now, especially after Arsenal and Chelsea drawing yesterday. Yep, absolutely, mate. We'll get into that, certainly. Gary says, don't see why not. 5 points off the top. I watched the game live and watched Match of the Day. Everyone looked like first division teams compared to us. I didn't see the game. I only saw the highlights. Good afternoon, says Julie. Good afternoon, Julie. Hope you're well. What a brilliant win yesterday. Absolutely. Kong says, Roly looks like an egghead from the film Dan Aykroyd. That's probably because of the background. Because you keep disappearing, yeah. Roly. Yeah, I mean, I did a pre-match live the other night for the England game, but I could only do it for a certain length of time because I had to come off because I was concentrating on crossing a very busy road, and obviously it doesn't look good if I'm walking across the road filming, and you know, especially when there's kiddies around as well, it doesn't really look good for them, does it? Because they'll think, well, oh, if he can do it, we can do it, and you know, so I want to look like a responsible adult in such a way, in some ways. But you know, we'll just quickly talk about Tuesday. I mean, look, England played Italy at Wembley, and definitely revenge on Tuesday, absolutely without a doubt. Look, yes, Italy went ahead, but England sort of played better. Deservedly got the penalty. I mean, look, Jude Bellingham, 20 years of age. How clever was he to get that, to nick that ball away in time, to get for the challenge to come in from Di Lorenzo to pull him over for the penalty. I mean, you know, that's a footballer with a brain at 20 years of age. I mean, Jesus, he's nowhere near his peak yet. And what's he going to be like in about 3, 4, 5 years' time? You know, it's frightening to think. And so, yeah, I mean, look, got the penalty. Harry Kane, rightly so, put it away. Sent Donnarumma the wrong way. You know, and after that, I mean, I thought Rashford had a poor first half, in all honesty, and he didn't look great. Second half, he made up for it with that goal. I mean, what a goal that was. A tremendous goal from Rashford. And then Kane as well. I mean, you know, took it on and drilled it past Donnarumma, got his second of the night and made it England 3, Italy 1, which meant England qualifies for next year's Euros. And Italy, well, they may miss out. You know, the European champions may not even get there to defend it. They may not even make it there. Spalletti didn't think it was a 3-1 game, but I'm sorry, at the end of the day, England took that chances. Italy didn't. Pickford made a couple of good saves in that game as well. And, you know, all in all, I thought it was a great performance from England. And they did the job. You know, they could have crumbled, but they didn't. They've done the job. And now they've got 2 more qualifying games. And, you know, technically, they can pick a different squad for them games if they want to. And, you know, obviously they'll want to win the both games and make sure they get through properly and go through on a winning streak. But, no, I thought they played quite well. And, yeah, it was really good. I mean, What did you think of that game on Tuesday, Roly?
I missed the first 15 minutes or so of the game. Um, I wasn't sort of paying too much attention in the first half, but the second half, I thought England was superb. And I sort of commented on a WhatsApp group. Don't England look a little bit like a certain team that plays in black and white? The way they were pressing high up the pitch, getting the ball, and then punishing them when they made mistakes. Um, Obviously, Southgate's trips to St James's Park haven't been to watch players; it's been to watch how Eddie does it, so it can take it back to England. Um, I mean, I know everybody moans about Southgate picking the same players, but when they perform like they did in the second half, you can't really argue too much. Though there needs to be transition. Some of the older players a bit long in the tooth that really should be um, being moved on. Um, I think this next there's two qualifiers coming up because we've qualified. He could the likes of maybe Henderson or Maguire leave them out and then just have a look at somebody new. You look at the likes of your long star, maybe Big Dan Burn, because a lot of people are saying at the moment he's the best left back in the country. Um, so um, and he's deservedly getting that praise because he's now developed his attacking side of his game as well. So yeah, I mean it's a decent performance. I thought that the goals we got, I thought Rashford took his goal really well. I thought Keynes was probably the best of the two. The way he flicked it over the defender and then had to hold him off as he got into the box and just a clinical finish. I mean, Harry Kane's at the top of his game. He's loving life in Germany. He can't stop scoring, which is great for England. Glad that the Premier League is back because that's the important stuff. But yeah,
Yes.
great performance against a decent Italy side. Um, they they're in trouble of in danger of not qualifying because they're below Ukraine. 2 games left. They need to get results, or they're not going, which would be a shame for them, but funny for us.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I saw a thing from GB News today. Waiting room, and it really knocks me because we have a talent in the squad. Obviously, Jude Bellingham. We know what a talent he actually is, and look, he's
Yeah.
had a great start of life in Real Madrid as well. He's like a hero already there. But now we get Wayne Rooney coming out and saying, "Oh, it looks great seeing it now." But there's going to be a time when he will flop and he'll flop really bad. And I'm like, hang on, let's stop knocking the talent we've got and praise the talent we've got while we've got it. You know, it doesn't mean to say because Jude Bellingham's at the top of his game now, in about a year's time he's going to be a total different player because he might not be. He might still be at the top of his game, and he's a unique talent. I mean, look, he went from
Was that
Birmingham to Dortmund at 16 years of age. He went to a foreign country and he done well in Germany for Dortmund. And he rightly so got the move to Real Madrid, and and I think people like Wayne Rooney just need to keep their mouths shut and say, support what the lad's doing and just say, look, he's a great player. Don't knock them. This is why England never do so well because every time the media knock the players, and I'm sure it knocks their confidence. I mean, what do you think, Roly?
I think he should know better because um, he was in a similar situation as Bellingham, as one of these amazing talents that we produce, and was really good at a very young age. No one was saying, "Oh, right, he may be at the top of his game now, but when he flops, he's going to flop hard." Because Rooney didn't flop. Wherever he went, he was top class. So why would Bellingham flop?
Yeah,
He seems to be a
abs-
level-headed guy that's is getting on with his game. and
Yeah,
improving. He seems to have a decent temperament, so why should he flop? Unless he gets loads of injuries, I can't see any reason why he'd flop. I just think it's irresponsible from Wayne Rooney. He should know better, having been in the
yeah,
exact same position himself.
yeah. I, I totally agree. I mean, look, they're saying apparently he's getting a lot of help from Trippier as well. Bellingham, he's getting he's taking a lot of board of what Trippier tells him and things like that. So, and it's great to see that Trippier is still in and around the England squad, and he had a great game at left back, I thought, the other night. So he didn't do too bad. But yeah, anyway, to yesterday's game, I mean, look, I didn't see the game. I had to rely on Match of the Day. So I watched the highlights, and we looked clinical from the start. The 4 minutes Murphy scores. Great goal, by the way, by Murphy. That it was the passing, from Trippier. I mean, it was spot on. Murphy in. And when they said it was offside, I'm looking, thinking, well, hang on, where's the offside? I can't see the offside. And then when you see it slowed down, you sort of think from the naked eye, you can see why the linesman's put his flag up, because he thought Trippier was just offside, and he looks just offside. But once VAR drew the lines, he was actually well onside, because Mark Way was playing him onside. So it was, it was a great decision that goal stood, because it would have been such a shame if that goal had been chalked off. And I know people moan about VAR, but look, when it works, like it has worked yesterday, if there was no VAR and that was a perfectly legal goal, legitimate goal that was chalked off, we would all be saying, why haven't we got video assistance? Why haven't we got this? Why haven't we got that? So we would moan about it, It's a bit like the weather. We'll say, it's summer, for God's sake. It's too hot. We want the winter here because so it's a little bit cooler. And then when winter comes, we're like, it's far too cold. I want the summer here. And that's a bit like the same with VAR, There's
Yeah.
no happy medium. Um,
I think the
but I
thing with
mean, look,
VAR is when they get it wrong, it's really wrong, and
yes,
they do get the majority of the decisions right. It's just when it's wrong, it's so wrong. Like
yeah,
the goal disallowed for Liverpool, and going back to a more prescient one last season against Crystal Palace, we had a perfectly good
yes,
goal disallowed. So
yeah,
when it gets it wrong, it's big mistakes. And then everyone goes,
absolutely,
oh, VAR, VAR, VAR. Can we have the game replayed? but
yeah,
it's on the whole, I think part of it is because people like talking about things. So when things go wrong and it's against your side, you have a moan. We always used to moan about the referees. We still moan about referees being crap, irrespective of how good a game they have. There's always going to be decisions you disagree with. But they got this one right. I think, again, I think part of the problem with the Liverpool one was they. It's almost like they took heed of everyone saying you're taking too long to make the decision. They got confused on what the actual on-field decision was. And I was
yeah,
fortunate to be watching the game, and one of the things when it's said for VAR, you could hear over the tannoy VAR checking possible offside. So everybody knew what they were checking for. So I presume the people at Stockley heard that as well.
they
And
always do tell you that anyway. They always do
yeah,
say that on the.
for some reason in that Liverpool game, the people at Stockley thought that the on-field decision was a goal, which is why they said check complete. And
Yeah,
that's the problem there. But yeah, going back to our game, got it
yeah. I
right.
mean,
I
yeah,
mean, when they showed us the still before they actually put the lines on, it was clear that both Trippier and Murphy were onside, and it was going to be overturned.
yeah,
And
definitely,
they got it right. So yeah, let's give them
yeah.
a bit of praise for actually getting the call right.
And then Murphy puts in a delicious cross for Gordon, who technically, when you watch it, he should have scored. He just got his foot too. He just put too much on it with the ball and hit the crossbar.
I think the other thing,
Um,
the keeper did actually get a touch on it, which would have
Yeah.
altered its trajectory, which has made it a little. It probably wasn't as easy as it looked, but you
No,
still expect him to score
you would
it.
have expected that.
Yeah, because he sort of managed to get his boot under it, and rather than on the side of the ball.
Yeah,
But he made up for it later.
he did. And then we saw Murphy get the ball and he put another delicious cross in, which was a beautiful cross, by the way. And who was there at the back stick? Wilson missed it, but there was Gordon to hammer it home and make it 2-0. Absolutely fantastic. Anthony Gordon's flying this season. He absolutely is flying. I would like to see him in next month's England team because, why not? Throw him in against North Macedonia and Malta. No harm in that whatsoever. The guy's absolutely on fire. He's playing so well. Sorry, Roly?
I don't think that Southgate's necessarily going to change the team much, but you bring him in to see how he fits in with the squad. And I think that is the reason why he sticks with pretty much the same players, because he knows that there's a good harmony in the squad. And because they don't get much time together as it's an international, he doesn't want to disrupt that. So this is a perfect time to bring 2 or 3 people in who potentially could be the future of the big futures in the England squad, just to see how they fit with the rest of the players, and so they get to have a little look at what the England setup is. Anthony Gordon's been superb. But I must admit, this is the first game that he's played this season where I don't think that he's in contention for the man of the match, which goes to show how well the other players who I do think are in contention played. So I thought he had a really good game.
Yeah, I thought it was a well taken goal, and look, mate, I sort of had my own prediction in my head. I thought we drew three times with them last season, didn't score against them. They were all 0-0 draws, so I thought I'm going to be cautious. Now I went for 2-0 win, to be fair. Because I didn't think we would concede, but I thought we would score at least 2. So anyway, we were 2 up. And then just before half-time, I don't know what the hell Mark Weir was doing with the ball. Look, this is an England centre-back. And, he looked woeful. He looked absolutely terrible. And Sean Longstaff, rightly so, got the ball off him. I don't know what he was doing, but to be fair, he made a total loss of whatever he was supposed to be doing, but Longstaff gets the ball, gets himself in the box and scores and makes it 3-0, and it's like, that's game over at half time, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, I thought Gay was he was battling with Wilson, and I think he was sort of worried about Wilson coming back at him because he had a bit of a jostle with him. He just lost his footing and just gave a present to Sean Longstaff, who did superbly well, not just picking up the ball, but the calmness of the finish. Last season, he's blazing that over the crossbar.
Well, it just shows he's a poor defender as well, Gray, doesn't it? So
he's not a poor defender. He just had a bad game.
Yeah. Well, I don't rate him at £60 million, that's for sure.
Well, do I. Do I. But he's still a young lad, and he's got a lot of potential. He just had a bad day at the office, but just about everybody in a Palace shirt had a bad day at the office.
So 3-0 at half time, that was perfect score. We could, in a sense, if Gordon had put that other chance away, would have been 4-0 up, and that would have, second half, Palace had an attack, and then after that attack, there was 4 passes, and it was in the back of the net from Wilson, and that's slick play. And that's how you to score in like 4 passes is from defence to attack, and in the back of the net, it's just like Wilson took it well. It did take a slight defection off Johnston, but it was never going out anywhere. It was always going in the back of the net, and Wilson got his goal. His customary goal that he always gets again. He always has a good scoring record against Palace. Wilson scores, makes it 4-0. and you're sort of thinking, right, the floodgates are open. We brought subs on. I mean, Tonali came on, and it was nice to see Tonali getting a stand ovation off the fans when he was warming up as well. The fans were giving him an ovation as well, which was lovely. Showing the love. At the end of the day, we all know what's happened, but all you got to do is support your players, and that's exactly what we do. As fans, we support our players. And then, like I say, Isak puts a lovely ball through to Almiron, and because the defender's getting back towards Almiron, I think it's Mitchell. It was Tyrick Mitchell. It forces Almiron to rush his shot, in which Johnson makes a save. I think if Mitchell doesn't catch up with Almiron, Almiron scores no problem whatsoever, and it's in the back of the net. And I thought it was sensible to take players off because you've got to look at Wednesday night. We've got Dortmund coming on Wednesday with their fans who are going to protest as well. And it's not against our regime, but our ownership, by the way. It is against pricing of the tickets. That's what they're protesting about because they think it should be £17 for a ticket, not £60. I mean, look, they want it cheaper than you going to see a League Two game. League Two game's about 18 quid, so they want it cheaper than a League Two game, and it's Champions League, which is the league game. So no disrespect to League Two, by the way, and your Salford Cities and all that. But I mean, look, we saw Crystal Palace brought about 1,700 fans with them yesterday, and as usual, they have to be complete and utter knobheads as fans. What is wrong with their fan base, I do not know. But when you're doing stuff like this, what is the point of that? I mean, look, they did it down at Selhurst Park when we had the takeover through. They've done it again. Now, to me, that's a racist banner. That's racist in a way. And there's been quite a few people saying it's racist. Now, the thing is, I think our steward should have took action and says, you must remove that banner. Because they shouldn't have the right to have that banner. I mean, look, at the end of the day, do they actually know who owns Crystal Palace? Do they know all the owners of their club? No, they do not, because it's all kept under wraps. Steve Parish is not the sole owner of Crystal Palace no more. And they forget.
They've had a lot of Saudi investment in the past as well.
Exactly, they forget that. Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, look, absolutely disgusting from Crystal Palace fans. They should be ashamed of themselves. Why they think we are such a rival to them, I do not know, because we're nowhere near a rival to them. We're not at their end of the table. But I mean, obviously, it's not the first time they've had a slur against us, but they've had slurs against other clubs as well. I really don't get what they're about. And to be honest, the way the fan base go, they don't deserve a Premier League football team. So to me, it's utterly disgusting. And, it's about time they just grew up, and started supporting their own team rather than worrying about what other teams got. And, it's jealousy at the end of the day. But again, our owners have been absolutely fantastic. They have done nothing wrong. They have done everything by the book. And, at the end of the day, these people just need to, jog on and do one. But, But all in all, I was happy with the 4-0 win yesterday. And, it's great to come back from the international break with a 4-0 win. I'm just going to nip into some comments. I'll get Roly's take on the fans. Mag says, Murphy's delivery was top class, simple but effective, absolutely. Knight says, yeah, the green screen cutting off from your side of your head. You need to sort out your lighting, Roly.
Yeah,
Julie
because it's the light. I took the green screen off, and then the light from the sun goes straight into my face. So I want to draw the curtain so we can see me better.
Julie says Murphy's always scores worldies. He does, doesn't he? Yeah. Knight says, also proud of the Toon faithful, showing the love to Tonali and Trips, putting his arm around him when he started crying. Absolutely. Julie says, hopefully this will make Sandro Tonali want to stay with us. I don't think he'll want to go. Yeah, absolutely, he'll stay. Don't you worry about that. Murphy was world class, says Gary. Lewis says, I was happy with the win, but unfortunately, I got back home and I had a massive migraine and I'm fine now. Just typical. Well, glad to see you fine, Lewis. Migraines are not very nice, mate. Coffee says, hi, Tony, Roly and all. I got my 4-0 prediction right. Hi, Coffee, hope you're well. Knight says, Longstaff and Murphy joint man the match for me yesterday. Absolutely. Gary D, afternoon, lads, and everyone in the chat. Good afternoon, Gary. Bias says, Southgate writes his luck against quality sites, exposed like his BBC 70s presenter. Gary says, I agree, Roly. I've noticed a few teams trying to emulate our press. They fail because they aren't fit enough. Lewis says, brilliant news. The Newcastle women have won 4-0 away from home. All my thoughts are with Sir Bobby Charlton. Yeah, absolutely. Very sad news. Sir Bobby Charlton passing away yesterday at the age of 86, but he has been ill for some time. Our thoughts with everybody connected to Bobby Charlton. Another Sir Bobby. Annie's from the northeast as well. He's from Mashington, so he's a pit lad. Julie says, glad the women are doing well. Would be brilliant to see them promoted. Wouldn't it just? Yeah, absolutely. Because I think they've got the championship next. It's very likely they will, Julie says, Gary. Trevor says, what a result for the tune. Rooney is a knob, always will, being always will. Put an old hooker next to him and he'll... Yeah, okay, we think we know what you mean by that one, yeah. He likes 3 nans for £1, doesn't he? I think the Women's Championship is the next league. Yeah, it's in the Northern Championship North. As Jude is getting more publicity than Rooney, yeah. David says, we'll be top of the league, only just getting started. Text green game over. Yeah, absolutely. Knight says, does Rooney mean Bellingham will go off and sleep with grudges? I watch the full game on Light Slam. Yeah, nice one, Gary. Murphy has made Eddie's choice. Who would you start, Murphy or Almiron? I think he started Murphy just to give Almiron a rest, maybe ahead of Wednesday in mind.
You've got to remember.
I think Almiron starts Wednesday. I think he does.
Yeah, you've got to remember that Almiron's just come back from Paraguay from international duty, so he would have rested him for that. And I thought in that chance he had, he looked like he was knackered and he'd only been on the pitch 10 minutes because it's probably still jet lagged. So
yeah. Rafinha goal, what skill, says Coffee. Gary says, Sher is simply unbelievable at the minute. I'd say one of the best in the world right now. I mean, look at that pass to Trippier, wasn't it, for the first goal? Absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? The way he just pings out a pass. VAR is a great idea. Just needs to be implemented properly, says Julie. Absolutely. Referees that can see for starters. Yeah. Talking about referees, I mean, look, yesterday, Sean Dyche was right. He should have been sent off. He should have had a second yellow card. It was definitely a yellow card. It was funny. As soon as he got away with that yellow card, he got substituted,
Yeah, within 30 seconds because they knew he should have gone.
Yeah, Klopp knew that. Kong says, think both Cher and Lascelles were on point yesterday. Yeah, Lascelles has had a great time since he's come back in. While Botman's out injured. Mafinho tricked us all into thinking he was crossing the ball, but he definitely intended to score. If Messi scored that goal, they'd give him the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, absolutely. Kong says, I think Murphy's goal was better than Mudrik's, as it was tighter angle. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, definitely. Trevor says, Darren England is a Man U fan, same as Howard Webb. Yeah, he was on duty yesterday as a 4th official, wasn't he, at Brentford. Cher's influence on a game. He plays left centre-back, was awesome down the right. When he plays right centre-back, we're awesome down the left. So it's down to Sharp pinging these balls across field, absolutely, Gary.
He was just majestic yesterday, wasn't
he? Yeah. Kong says, I remember when everyone said we wasted 40 million on Gordon and said maintained we should have judged him on this season and he's repaying all the faith shown in him. He's still an arsehole. What is our arsehole? Do you know what? I did say this back in January. I said, you've got to give the lad a chance. He's a rough diamond and he needs smoothing out. Bias says, everyone see Andy Carroll's goal against Armians. I haven't seen that, but I'll have to have a look. He's been scoring regular in that second division in France, hasn't he? League Two or League Two. David Smith says 4 takes too long. It does at times, yeah. Trevor says, I think under Eddie Gordon has grown up. When Everton, he never had the chance to be the person he wanted to be. I think you're absolutely spot on with that, Trevor. I mean, look, I always said when he was at Everton, he was under Lampard. Not being funny, Lampard is not a great manager. Lampard doesn't have a great coaching team. Eddie Howe is a great manager, has a great coaching team. He's got all the sports science there. And then next month, we've got somebody a psychologist joining us who's in the England team at the moment, but he's leaving that to come and join Newcastle. So we're getting another doctor in, and it's going to be absolutely brilliant. So that just shows you how much our club's on the move up. Everybody's saying spot on, Trevor.
About Anthony Gordon, his press conference after the game it's just become a dad. He's in such a good place at the moment. The fans love him. He's not in a toxic atmosphere like he was at Everton. He's playing well. He's improving. He's just in such a good place, and that can only make him want to play better.
Lewis says, what a bloody joke by the Dortmund fans. Want the tickets for £17, but you're playing the best teams in the world. I would pay £100 to see these games. Gary says, I saw a funny comment in the chat yesterday where a guy said he's starting to get disappointed if we score less than 4 goals. Yeah, then that's a bad day at the office, isn't it? Trevor says, need fining. Lewis says, I got a question. How the hell did they get into that stadium, the Palace fans? How did they get... Well, they'll have had it folded up. Yeah, and,
I don't have too much of a problem with the flag. I just think it's just a bit patchy, because considering they've had so much Saudi money in the past. If they want to express themselves, well, let them express themselves. We're still going to spank them, so it's...
Yeah.
I know it's a little irritating, but I don't have a problem with having the flag.
And I bet the majority of them have got cars, and I bet they fill them up at fuel stations, and I bet they go on Facebook, and I bet they've got Disney Plus and things like that. So say no more on that one. Ian says, "Afternoon, Tony and Roly. Good afternoon, Ian. Hope you're well, mate." Ian says they're a bunch of muppets. They are. Kong says they all suffer from small man syndrome and small dick syndrome. Premier League needs to be half look at this and find them and have a points deduction for fans to grow up some balls. I don't think you go down the route of giving them fines or, but because it's not blatantly racist, but it does look a bit racist if you look at it. I mean, look, it's just ridiculous. They're using a Scooby-Doo advert, they're using Freddy from Scooby-Doo to pull off a mask and see there's Mohammed bin Salman, who doesn't even own our club, by the way. And at the end of the day, they said the Saudi state would not get involved, and they haven't gotten involved. So what's the problem?
Yeah, I think the other thing is, as long as the flags are clearly not offensive or racist, which that's I don't really see that as racist, because they're just saying that we're owned by a country that's got bad human rights, which... Well, we're not owned by the country, but the people that own us are from that country, and they do have bad human rights. But when there's a situation where you get to express your opinion, some people don't like it, but hey, that's where it goes. As long as it's not offensive or racist, I don't have a particular problem with it. If they want us to live in their mind rent free, that's fine by me. But it's got boring for me now.
Yeah,
that's more the irritation than anything else, because no, football's all about banter between the crowds. You can't come up with anything better than you're owned by the Saudis and sports washing. It just gets boring.
Gary says, a bit late, only the EPL signed that off 2 years ago. Absolutely. The FA should warn them if it happens again, they lose points, says Trevor. Can't see that happening, to be fair. Julie says a Ranny Granny wouldn't even be safe from Wayne Rooney. Palace fans brought out the Scooby-Doo poster to protest against our owner, says Coffee. Troll says, hi, Tony and Roly. Hi, Trolls. Hope you're well, mate. Palace fans are idiots. We need that automatic offside like we do in the Champions League. Do you know what it is, Lewis? They wouldn't have it, though. The Premier League went against it, the clubs. Not us, I don't think. I think it was the likes of Liverpool's and that who went against it.
If they had that in the game against Tottenham, Diaz's goal would have stood.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And got a £5 super chat from Ian. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah. He says, "Did you enjoy your holiday while we froze, Tony?" Do you know what? Absolutely loved it, mate. It was brilliant. Yeah, had a great time. I'm catching up now. I think it's catching up with me now because you know, there was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was out at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah. But you know what? No, it was absolutely brilliant. Yes, there was people on the streets had a lot of drunk. But I tell you what, I never saw any trouble whatsoever. Everybody seemed to be very friendly, and it was good crack there. So yes, it was a really enjoyable holiday, and I will definitely go back because I did enjoy it. Absolutely. So thanks for that. Coffee says, Canarty got away with the red. Why isn't he asking for a replay? So proud to be an NUFC fan after that love that Tonali got yesterday. Absolutely. I don't care how long VAR takes as long as it comes to the right decision. Just remember they add it on at half-time or full-time. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, I'd rather they took that time and got the right decision than rushed it. One official Twitter handle posted a picture of the England team versus Italy with the caption, "What's stopping this England team from winning the Euros and the World Cup?" And the replies were all Southgate. The ban has an act of jealousy. Spot on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're just checking the oven. Dinner almost ready. Lovely, Julie. What, you having something nice? Coffee says there should be a Scooby-Doo poster on Fred unmasks the Palace fans as Man United fans. I believe from looking at the team's fan vlogs, we have become the team most feared in the Prem. Lovely, innit? It is, Gary. That's the thing. People are frightened of us now, and that's great to see, you know. And it's just, and if you looked at BBC Match of the Day last night, everything we've done this season, like expected goals, shots, things like that, we're first in everything.
Yeah. Goals scored, shots on target, big chances created, percentage big chances converted. All the attacking stats were number one. And we're only 2 goals worse off than the best defence in the league.
Talking about Ranny Granny. She's in the chat there. Yeah, I've had a restraining order against Wayne Rooney and Chippers. Oh, brilliant. I mean, look, we saw freak results yesterday happening in the Premier League. I mean, look, comebacks of all comebacks. Luton Town, 2-0 down against Forest. Chris Wood scoring 2 for Forest. We all know Chris Wood quite well. He took his goals well, by the way. Let's be honest, they were good goals what Chris Wood scored. You know, and Luton come back to 2-2. Now, I'll tell you what it is, and I'm not being funny when I say this, I can see Luton Town staying up because they've got a bit of grit and determination about them. Now they're getting used to the Premier League. It's took them a little while to bed into it, but now they're bedding into it. I think they could surprise a few teams. I really do. So, you know, I still want them to finish above Everton, so Everton drop down.
I mean, they do look like they've got, there's a little bit about them that gives them a chance. They're definitely 2 teams worse than them. One being
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, and I think Bournemouth are the other one.
Villa Bournemouth look terrible.
Yeah, Villa have taken the lead against West Ham in a very competitive game. Douglas Luiz.
Gary, so I wouldn't have the banner be shown again when we play them at their place. Do you know what? They'll probably have a different banner, yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me, Gary. The match was trash. We only scored 4, says Trolls. It was a great match, of course. Roly, give me your take on yesterday's game.
To be honest, I think that performance is one of the best performances I've seen. Um, I thought all round attacking, we just played some scintillating football. Um, right, I think that Murphy's goal was across, but the interplay to getting the ball across to Trips that is cushioned ball inside, and Murphy's hit. I think it was a cross, but it went in. So who cares? I thought it was brilliant. We could have been 4, possibly 5 up at half time, and um, some of the attacking was just breathtaking. It took them about 70 minutes to actually have a shot on target. I thought Bruno was at his silky best. Uh, the standouts for me were Trips, Longstaff, and obviously Murphy. I thought Fabian Schär was superb, not just defensively, but bringing the ball forward, and his distribution was excellent again. It was, it was just all round. It was just such a good performance by everybody. Um, the goals were well taken. I thought that some of the balls that Jacob Murphy put in were delightful. The goal he put in for Wilson's goal reminded me a bit of Willock's for Isak and the hammering of Tottenham. I thought Lascelles was strong, and it's almost like he's lost his panic when he's got the ball at his feet. He seems to have time, and he seems to know what to do with the ball, which he didn't before. But yeah, I think hats off to everyone. I thought we got that big lead, so we're able to make the substitutions to save people for Wednesday. Tino Livramento looked good. I thought Tonali was decent considering what he's gone through. I just think it's one of the best performances I've seen for us. And we've had some good teams in the past. I think this team can be better than the Entertainers. They're just so clinical, and we don't give anything away at the back. The thing you look at the games we had. We're not at full strength. We've got no Botman. We didn't start Isak. Willock's injured. There's so many good players that we've got that are out, and yet we're still wiping the floor with teams. We're just clinical at the minute. I wish we were playing Liverpool again now, because we wipe the floor. We need to beat Liverpool sometime soon, because I'm just getting sick of Julie taking the piss out of me because they keep beating us.
Well, hopefully we can change that.
Yeah. I mean, I say this is one of the first time where this season where Anthony Gordon hasn't been in the running for man of the match in my eyes, and he had a really good game. I think you've got to give it to Murphy, a goal and 2 assists, and he created at least one other big chance as well. He was just superb. And then when he was coming off at the end, I don't know if people saw him because he had his hand. He goes, and then put a massive grin on his face as he's going into the tunnel. You've got to love the guy, and to think that 18 months ago, people were saying, "Oh, he's not going to be with the club. They're going to get rid of him." He is a capable squad member that can more than do a job.
Yeah.
When he comes, basically since Eddie's first season, every time that he's come on, he's put in a really valuable contribution, whether it be just defensively, like against AC Milan, or attacking like yesterday. It was such a good performance all round, and it's for the 90 minutes. Even when we took the foot off the gas a bit, everyone was still defending properly and making sure that we kept that clean sheet. And even Pope's distribution wasn't too bad. You look at it; he's the reason we got the 4th goal. Really quick throw out to Tripp, one ball up to Murphy, then the cross for Wilson, one touch, bang, back of the net.
4 passes.
Yeah, it was just great. And I tell you, if the well, I'm sure the players of Borussia Dortmund have been would have had a look at that, or will be watching it, and it'll give them sleepless nights coming here for Wednesday.
Well, no doubt Eddie will be watching that training session at St James's Park. Well, Eddie might not be there watching it, but he'll have somebody watching it, no doubt. And they'll be watching how Dortmund set up. So, because they played Friday night, so they've had an extra day's rest. Well,
Yeah,
I say a day's rest, probably an extra, 15, 16 hours rest. But
yeah.
they won 2-0 anyway on Friday night as well. So,
So
but they're
we'll
the
have a
only
look.
other.
We'll have a look at that. I mean, Eddie will be analysing their games, and he'll look at how they played against PSG and Milan, and he'll have a game plan ready.
Just got to watch out for Julian Brandt because he's some player. And obviously they've got the ex-Liverpool player as well, Emre Can, in their ranks. And also, is it Marcus Royce? He's a good player as well. Coffee says that Murphy's pass to Wilson remind me of a FIFA move. Kate Dag, hi Tony. Me and Jonathan are just asking, hope you had a great holiday in Benidorm. Did you see the Salon Hotel from Kate and Jonathan? Yeah, I had a great holiday. Thank you very much. Yes, it was lovely, much needed. Great atmosphere for the England game in the pub as well. I mean, there was a lot of pubs. Every pub, I think, was showing the game, to be fair. But I went to this one because I had a huge screen there and everything. And the atmosphere was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I saw the hotel that they used in the series, the Sol Pelicanos. But they only used that for the pool. Obviously, the inside of the hotel was done in a studio somewhere just outside Benidorm. But yeah, I saw where they used it for the swimming pool and everything, and that was the Sol Pelicanos. So yeah, I saw that. Also went to Neptune's Bar as well, which is Morgan's Tavern. Very nice in there. So yeah, I had a great time, and it was absolutely fantastic. And hopefully I'm off again, I think, in April. So yeah, looking forward to it. And I saw some great acts there as well. You know, there was the Beatles were there. They were brilliant. They played with their own instruments and everything. Those lads did well for the Beatles. Even changed and put their Sgt. Pepper stuff on as well, which was, I thought, fantastic. There was an Elvis Presley there, and believe it or not, his name's Dave Keegan, and he's from Newcastle, and he was a Geordie. So yeah, a Geordie Elvis. There you go, guys and girls. There was a Geordie Elvis there, so he was pretty good. Meatloaf was good. The Bee Gees weren't so good. Who else did I see? There was Pink. She was really good as well. So yeah, I saw quite a few, and yeah, it's all free as well, of course. And of course, I saw Chrissy Rock. I don't know if you know Benidorm, but she used to be on the. She was on from the first series to about, I think, the third or the fourth. She used to always be in the Neptune's Bar, announcing people on the stage for the karaoke and things like that. So you probably know who Chrissy Rock is if you see her. I had a selfie with her. She does stand-up comedy there, and she was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. And be funny, everybody asks, no, I did not watch Dickie Vicky. Thank you very much. We'll leave it at that. Charles says, was watching the same cast from Before the Takeover. The only way to describe it is like bus in hell, in a bus in hell, and ending up at the pearly gates. Gary says Villa 1-0 as it stands. Yeah, Villa watch will be happy, won't he? Because of our defences team is no better than the entertainers. Spot on, trolls. Trippier is our second best signing in Newcastle history after Shearer, says Coffee. Yeah, I mean, look, we've had some great signs, over the years. I mean, when you think, you go back to like the 80s, and I know this sounds weird, but at the time when we signed him, for the guy to even leave London and come to us, and I'm not on about Rob Lee, by the way, this is the 80s I'm talking about, because Rob Lee come in the 90s. But even back in the 80s, to get a player of the quality of this guy, and he wasn't too bad at Newcastle, Paul Goddard from West Ham. I mean, look, at the time he was a quality player.
Yeah, it was quality with West Ham, and it's good for us as well.
Yeah, Paul Goddard. Yeah. Thank you very much, Gary. You've become a member of the channel. Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. Troll says in the way Trips is better by because of what he does both on and off the pitch. Yeah, absolutely. Trips has been brilliant. I hope he joins the coaching staff. when he stops playing, says Gary, I'm sure he will. They're saying the same as Matt Ritchie. He's going to join up in the coaching team as well, because he's another one who's a leader in the dressing room, and and I'm sure him and Trippier have probably spoken with Tonali and probably added on their experiences and things like that. So probably everybody's giving them support. It's nice to see Nick Pope throw his arms around Tonali after the game yesterday as well. So, it just shows you the togetherness that we've got in that squad. In a way, Trip says, oh yeah, we read that one, yeah. So, I mean, look, in terms of player of the match, as we've got to see nowadays, we can't just see a man of the match now, can we? It's got to be player of the match. I mean, look,
I don't see why, because it's only men playing that we're dealing. So why can't it be man of the match?
Yeah.
Right. If it's a mixed game, you could understand that. And then for the women, because you could say woman of the match, but it doesn't have the same ring, so I could understand it for the women. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, look, you could have probably said Sean Longstaff could have been man of the match because he had a terrific game, but obviously my man of the match, without a doubt, is Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, absolutely.
The assists and goal, absolutely fantastic, and he deserves it, and absolutely deserves man of the match in my opinion. And obviously, like I say, it was great that we showed the love to Tonali yesterday. Absolutely fantastic, and we wish the guy well when he's whatever gets thrown at him. The club will be there to support him. This Fagioli or whatever you call him, who went and initially spoke to the prosecutors and got his case in. He's obviously ended up with a 7-month ban, but it's suspended. We don't know what sort of ban Tonali's going to get, but again, we're not going to speculate on that because we just wait and see what the Italian prosecutors have to say. It all depends what case Tonali's put forward. I mean, look, we don't know. I'm sure the club's probably helped him out getting the best lawyers he can. Who knows? He might even have Nick DeMarco working for him. Who knows? But again, whatever's thrown at him, we just have to accept it, and we have to take it on the chin. Unfortunately, hopefully it's not a long one, and hopefully he'll be back soon playing. So but the minute he hasn't been banned, he's still available. So long may that continue. We don't know when the Italian prosecutors are due to make their announcement on Tonali. So we will just wait and see on that one. But as I say, definitely it's Murphy for me who gets man of the match in my opinion, because I thought he had a terrific game yesterday.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Tony.
Coffee says Trippier did see when Tonali joined. If Tonali needs help or support, he's always there. Absolutely. Mafino says Coffee. Gary says last of the match sounds much better.
Yeah.
We will hear Tonali's judgment before Wednesday. Apparently the length of the ban has been negotiated, says Bia. Oh, okay then. So I say I've been in Spain last week. I didn't really see a lot, and obviously I was out and about. So, but yeah, let's hope. I mean, let's hope we'll see what happens anyway. I mean, look, there's talk from a lawyer in Britain that says about the. I mean, look, the lawyer in Britain who does sports law and all this, he said if Tonali gets a ban, yes, which he probably will do, for something he's done in Italy, FIFA will uphold the ban worldwide. But they also said the English FA could also bring charges against Tonali by saying he's brought the game into disrepute, and the Football Association can hit him with a fine as well. So the English FA, because he's done something to a foreign FA, and because he plays in this country in the Premier League, the English FA can give him some sort of fine or punishment or whatever. So let's hope the FA don't, and let's hope they just keep their noses out of it. But who knows? We just wait and see on that one.
Like that, they probably could do that. But if he's been banned, it wouldn't make sense to give it because it's like if you get sentenced in prison to prison for 2 crimes, you get 5 years, and for both of them, they run concurrently rather than consecutively. So what I would expect them to do, so if they do do decide to ban him, they'll just say, well, he's already served it because he's got this other ban. It would be, I think it would be so. What's the word? It would be really wrong for them to ban him on top of another ban for the same thing.
So, yeah, I think it would be. I mean, like you said, they could give him just a fine as well, but I think, well, that's why punish him again? You know what I mean? So
And the
hopefully
other
the
thing
FA
is,
get out of it.
punishing us as well, because they're punishing us for things he did when he was at Milan. So I can understand them wanting to punish the player, but he's also punishing the club. And if all these offences took place when he wasn't even at that club, it's a difficult one. And the ban that he potentially could get seems disproportionate compared to some of the bans people have got for other things. And like when Cantona did that kung fu kick into the crowd, it worked out of like an 8-match ban. Was it when what do we call him? Di Canio pushed over Alcott, the ref. He got the 6-match ban. He got 12. Was it Suarez was it a 12-match ban for racially abusing the Man United fullback? I forget his name at the moment. Oh, I forget his name. And then for betting, you're getting months, sort of like getting a season ban. It just seems for disproportionate for.
Was it Evra? Wasn't it Evra? Wasn't it?
Evra gets it. Patrice Evra.
Patrice Evra.
Yeah, yeah, and things like that, which I think are more serious, get far
Pardew
less
got a ban
fun.
for headbutting David Myler when he was Newcastle manager.
Yeah, yeah, but it's. I mean, from what they've said, I don't know how true it is that he was betting on Milan games, but he was betting on them to win, and which is better. It's still not good, but it's better. I'd have more issue if he'd been betting on Milan to lose and he was playing for them.
Yeah,
Which is
exactly.
one of the things that Ivan Toney did. He bet on Newcastle to lose because we were shite at the time, though he wasn't he was on loan at the club, but you're still betting against your own club. At least he was betting for them.
Yeah. Gary says, question for you is, Tony and Roly, do you think Trips is better than signing than Billy Whitehurst? Absolutely.
It depends on what you mean by a better signing. If you're looking for a better signing to walk with you as your bodyguard down a dark alley, it's Billy Whitehurst every day of the week and twice on Sundays, because that guy was hard as nails. I'm sure Tony remembers him playing, but that guy, oh God, he was hard.
Coffee says Pioli and Milan have pledged their support for Tonali just now.
That's good.
They reckon AC Milan knew nothing about it, apparently. Tonali was all teared up on his lap around the pitch. He was almost crying, says Gary. Yeah, absolutely. What a result, says Wayne. Great support from the supporters of Tonali. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Wayne, and good afternoon, mate. I hope you're very well indeed. Joel says, when it's about money, it's harshly punished compared to violent crimes. That's insane. I mean, look, you know, they're talking about our prison service being full. And I don't want to get too much into politics, but they talk about our prison service being full. Well, there's an easy way to free up the room, bring back the death penalty, and all these paedophiles and things like that who have killed children or adults who have killed adults, murderers, anything like that. Let do the thing, get rid of them, then you'll free up the prison space, because, you know, what's the point of them staying there for life when you need prison space? Wayne says, remember when
Just
Suarez
one
spat
point
on the
on that.
ref?
just one point on that I'd take the other way, because I don't particularly have any sympathy for murderers or paedophiles, but there are cases of wrongful conviction, and if you kill them, you can't bring them back.
Well, no, that's true.
That's my biggest argument
Yeah.
against it. And then I don't like killing people being killed anyway, so that's the other one. But it's if because the law's not perfect, and they do get it wrong. And
Yeah.
if you kill them, you can't bring them back when you find out, oh yeah, they did get it wrong, because the families will still be looking to clear their name, especially if they're sure they did. I mean, there's a guy released from prison about 3 or 4 months ago who spent 25 years in prison for a rape, I think it was, that he didn't
Yes,
commit.
I saw that, Roly. Yeah.
Now, if you're looking at death penalties for rapists, they'd have killed him, and it turned out that he didn't actually do it. He said it all along, but people say, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to say that." As science improves, they were able to prove that he actually didn't do it.
I mean, Wayne says, remember Suarez spat on the ref? And I remember when he bit Chiellini as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
The vampire strikes back. Craig Lee says, we are class. Absolutely says we could finish second or third. Do you know what? There's no reason why we can't. Have I tuned into the right? Have I tuned in?
Sorry, can I just go? So that comment about we can finish second or third. If we are come April, if we're in a similar position to we're in now, in touching distance, there's no reason why we can't win the whole damn thing.
Exactly.
See where we are in April. If we're still in the race at April, they'll go out all out to win the thing.
Yeah. Craig said, I tuned into the right channel. You're on the right channel, mate. Yes, it's no, we're just discussing. So that was just discussing something there, and he said, I do believe in the Bibles. Craig, worse than the death penalty, forced them to watch Paul Gallant video, says Beer Viking. Mighty Mag, hi Tony, Roly and Trolls, and I've had an afternoon nap, missed the show. Hope you had a brilliant time, Benetton. Yeah, cheers, Mighty Mag. Yeah, I did, mate, absolutely. And yeah, you can always catch up with the show at the end, you know, you can always rerun it back. Agree, Tony, makes them think twice as well. Have you seen how much it is to keep one person in prison? You'd be shocked. Taxpayers' money as well. Yeah, absolutely, Wayne. It's absolutely disgusting. Craig says we are more well-rounded team than Liverpool, Arsenal, Sports, etc. City, I fear. I mean, look, I didn't think. City played well against, Brighton, but in all honesty, when they went 2-0 up pretty early, I thought City would have gone on and won that game comfortably, but it was tight at the end, 2-1. So yeah, I mean, look, Spurs, they've had one test with Arsenal, but I'm just waiting for the bubble to burst for Tottenham. Wayne says it's rare that happens, Roly, but I do agree in a way, says Wayne. But I mean, look, we've got Dortmund Wednesday. I'm sure it's going to be a tough game. But, again, we're playing with confidence, so we can go in that game with confidence. And the good thing is we've had that rest from the international break. What we do want to do is we need to go in that game against Dortmund and win it, and win the home games. And then next Saturday, it's a 5:30 kickoff in Molineux against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now then, what I am going to say is the Wolves game ain't going to be an easy game. Look, they've played well so far this season. If I remember rightly, Roly had them as a tip to go down to be relegated.
Yeah, I did.
So, and we've got some good results. I mean, look, they've beat City. Yeah, I mean, look, yesterday, they went to Bournemouth. Gary O'Neill went to his old team, and went there and got a win. They've beat Man City at home, so they're no slouches, they're no mugs. And there's one player we need to keep quiet in order to just try and stop Wolves, and that's Pedro Neto. I mean, look, the guy's electric. He's on fire at the minute. 6 assists in 9 games and 1 goal. I rate this lad highly. You know, and to be honest with you, if there was a chance of us signing him, I would take him absolutely. He's lightning down the wings. He can play left wing or right wing. But we need to stop him playing. Stop him, and we should beat Wolves no problem. But they will be a tough nut to crack.
But you've got to remember, Tony, that they've got to stop us.
Yeah,
we're long removed from the times when I think, we need to stop him. We need to stop him. They've got to stop us. And one of the great thing about this run is that how many different players are scoring. It's not just Wilson and Isak. You look at, we scored 4 goals yesterday, 4 different scorers. They score 4 against PSG, 4 different scorers. 8 against Sheffield United, 8 different scorers. Everybody's chipping into the goals. It's great. They've got to stop us, which is extremely hard, I think.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's going to be. I'm not taking them lightly, Roly, because you've played well, and you don't just go out there and beat Man City for no reason. You go out there because you've played well to beat Man City. So,
as I always say, when you play a team in the Premier League, I don't care who it is. If you don't turn up, you'll get beat. You've got to put in the performance. If you don't, you'll get beat, because even the Sheffield Uniteds, the Burnleys, Lutons of this tag of this division, they're not bad sides. It's just that they're not great by Premier League standard at this point in time. I mean, you look at Luton when they went to Everton. No one thought they would win there, and they did. And that was just so. What's one of their fan reaction podcasts? And when they were tilling up the thing, they were singing, "We're winning away, we're winning away. How shit must you be? We're winning away." And Everton are shit.
Mighty Mag says, Tony, it's probably been said, but can I just say Anthony Gordon, what a player we got in our hands. Absolutely, Mighty Mag, he's been tremendous so far, and we missed him against West Ham, because I'll tell you now, against West Ham, we would have won that game with Anthony Gordon in the team, I'm telling you now. Cho says, why can Tonali get 18 months when Tony got 79 months? Doesn't make sense. Well, we don't know what.
It's the Italians, because they've had so many previous betting scandals. They've had that was in the late 70s, early 80s. They had a really big betting scandal where they basically had half the Italian squad was banned.
Italian football's always been known for it, not just for betting scandals, for fraud and everything. We've seen it all. Yeah. We've seen Juventus relegated before. They're being dragged through again. It's Italian football is never squeaky clean, never ever.
And that's why it's likely to be a bigger ban than it would be over here. I mean, you've got to remember that Tony's ban, his serving was at 8 months, but his actual ban was longer. They suspended part of it because he pleaded guilty to a number of quite a lot of the charges.
Yeah.
So I think he did get a 12-month ban, but they actually suspended something like 3 months of it. So
Craig says, our players believe now that's huge.
Yeah.
And he says, Wolves fans are expecting us to pump them. He says, but Pedro Neto isn't as good as old Pedro. No, absolutely not. Beatty was a one-off. I mean, Beatty was a world-class player.
Oh, God, what a player he was.
I wonder, with the weight of our owners and legal army they employ, Tonali might be shown leniency. What do you think? Do you know what it is, Gary? That's what I'm thinking, because
I'm not so sure
the club will make sure he's got the best lawyers.
I'm not so sure he'll get leniency because of the lawyers. The fact that he's come in so early, cooperated and pleaded guilty, I think that will probably be the biggest thing. But if it seems overly harsh, I think the lawyers will get involved. But
do you not agree with what Paul Merson? Now, look, Paul Merson normally is a total and not a knob. And
I couldn't put it better
but
myself.
but do you not actually agree with what he said? He said the other week, he said, look, when the Tonali thing come out, he said, look, he said, surely banning players isn't the way forward. Therapy is more better for players than banning them, because what good's that doing to ban the player? He says, you need therapy, you need help. That's better than a ban on a player. And do you know what? I actually looked at it and I thought, do
Yeah.
you know what? You're actually talking sense for a change.
And so that I saw his whole statement. That since he's been a football pundit, that's possibly the first thing he said about Newcastle I've actually agreed with, or a Newcastle player.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is an addiction. An addiction, as you said, with other addictions, they're recognised and people you can go into therapy and stuff like that. With gambling, so I'll just pull yourself together. It doesn't work like that, because there's the thrill and excitement of the win, and then the addiction comes in when you start losing. Oh, I need to get that feeling back again. So it is an addiction, and one of the difficult things about the whole situation is that the ban's going to affect the club, when, if not all, but the majority of the betting took place in Italy, a different country.
yeah,
But we're still going to be penalised for it. I understand why. There's not if you're going to have sanction like that, there's no other way to do it. But again, as you said, I mean, Paul Merson's is a man that knows a thing or two about addiction, and knows about how you come out of that addiction.
yeah.
So it does make a seriously good point there.
He does.
Whether the authorities are saying, well, these bans are sort of like someone's just plucked him out the air, I'll give him a 9-month ban. That's going to stop him. But as a lesson to other people. But if it's an addiction, it's like drug addiction. Drugs are illegal. Illegal. Doesn't stop people buying them, does it?
No.
Because they have that need. You put them in prison for having was it class A, in possession of class A drugs. They come out, they're doing it because they feel that they need to survive
Yeah.
in their life. They need it in their life. It's like alcoholism.
I
People
mean,
don't drink because they like it. They drink because they need it. And gambling's the
yeah.
same.
I mean,
And
look,
it's not a
you know,
deterrent.
yeah. Craig says Tony's 18th month ban went Maine, which was which was pre-season, absolutely. Wayne says, my opinion, I think Tonali will get banned for 6 months and a 6-month suspension. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be.
Mm.
I wouldn't be too
Uh,
disappointed with that. I think a year is basically cracking a nut with a jackhammer.
Ryan says, hi Tony, long time no see, my guy. Hi, my guy, Ryan. Hope you're well, mate. How's army life treating you? I hope it's going well. Yeah, absolutely fine, mate, and hope you're fine too. Gary says to Craig, we're the best team in the Premier League, mate. The Simples, yeah, if you look at that graphic from BBC, it was brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Craig says, Gary, keep it under the radar. Coffee says, Saudi Arabia turned down an offer for Lingard because his wage demands. We dodged a bullet. We certainly did. We definitely dodged a bullet with him because he was. Bias says, I've got a meeting with 3 Wolves fans next Sunday. I've Amazon myself a crown and Kate to walk in. Holly, what a fantastic result and performance of so proud of our lads and our supporters supporting Tonali. Absolutely, Holly, brilliant result yesterday. Merson being supportive of Sandro Tonali, says Julie, absolutely, brilliant. If they get leniency, it's because the chief of the Italian FA, he said, I believe they have addictions and need our help. Bans for addicts are stupid. Time on their hands is counterproductive. Yeah. Exactly. Coffee says, Paul Merson also personally offered to help a young Arsenal fan who would put out a disturbing final message. So does this mean Tonali isn't the Messiah? He's just a very naughty boy, says Gary. Been caught with his pants down, and it's just one of those. But you learn by your mistakes, and hopefully Tonali learns by it. And I'm sure he has done now. If someone offers you drugs, thank you. That shit ain't cheap. Look, if somebody offered me a drug, I'd say no, thank you. I'd rather have a good drink.
If you're addicted to it, you'll buy it.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, whatever happens, the club's going to be there and supporting him. I know there's lawyers out there saying, "Oh yeah, well they can rip up his contract and things like that." I don't think they're going to do that. I think once this is sorted out, whatever punishment he gets, he takes it simple as. But I think he comes back a stronger player, and I think we'll see the better Tonali, because I think this has been hanging over him, and that's probably why. Tonali hasn't really been playing as well, because he's had this hanging over. He's had a weight on his shoulders, and now this weight is starting to be lifted. It probably makes him feel a lot easier now. So what will happen is, I think he'll come back. I think he'll come back better, and he'll be a totally different player. That's for sure. Coffee says it could be undercover.
And I think the other thing you've got to remember is, with the support he'll get from the club and is seen from the fans, he'll want to pay us back for that. So he'll be even more determined. And I mean, the club made a major investment in him. They're not going to ditch it, because he's only 23. He hasn't even got anywhere near his peak.
No. Foxy says, "Hi guys, hope all's well. Hope you had a good holiday, Tony." Yeah, hope you're well too, mate. Yes, I had a great time. Thank you very much, and I hope you all enjoyed my Benidorm vlog I put on the channel as well. I thought I'll put one on there because I did promise you. Craig says he'll come back better after the ban. Weight of the world off his shoulders, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, look, yeah, I think he will do. I mean, look, there's all sorts of rumours going around that in January, because if he's banned, we'll need to bring another player in. There's talk of Ruben Neves. That's being banded about. There's now talk from the Shields Gazette that we're looking at Dani Ceballos from Real Madrid as a defensive midfielder to come in, maybe. So all the rumours are going around at the moment. But again, that's exactly what it is. It's rumours. Nobody knows what's happening.
The thing about it, you've got to remember that we don't panic. All we do is we might bring forward transfer plans rather than. It's like Anthony Gordon was one that they were looking for in the summer, but they felt with Everton's position they could get him early, and they did. And I don't see us necessarily going out to buy a midfielder or loan one in January. First of all, we don't know the length of the ban, and secondly, it's an area where we do actually have a lot of strength. It's possibly our strongest area in the squad.
He says Tonali's losses Anderson and made his gain.
Absolutely.
Wayne says you can tell Tonali's had something hanging over him when he first signed. He never smelled and was never happy.
Oh.
Am I the only one who doesn't want Phillips? Yeah, Calvin Phillips. I mean, he's another one, isn't he? Julie says Emile Smith-Rowe's been talked about, and Lucas Paqueta rumour never goes away. I mean, look, Smith-Rowe, I'll tell you what it is. Absolutely taken without a shadow of a doubt. Terrific player.
He actually got on the pitch yesterday.
Yeah, they call him the Croydon De Bruyne in Arsenal because they reckon he's that good, and he is a good player. And can you imagine Eddie Howe with Smith-Rowe? And he's only young. You'd get the best out of him, that's for sure. So yeah, Emile Smith-Rowe, I would take him. Yeah, definitely. Why not? I mean, look, remember, if we do lose Tonali, we've got Joe Willock come back as well. So, Gary says, what worries me is because it's an impending ban, or did he really want to come here? Only he knows. That's interesting, Gary, yeah.
I think that he would have, if he didn't want to come, he wouldn't have come. You can't force a player to sign for a club.
Craig says, we're blessed in midfield. Longstaff, Bruno, Joe Linton, Willock, Anderson, Miley and Hall. Sees himself as a midfielder, yeah. Paquetá has just had a shocker there. Poor pass and Alvarez gives a penalty away, says Foxy.
Yeah, Villa's Douglas Lewis has scored the penalty, so it's 2-0 Villa.
Yeah. Ruben Neves says we're not bring him in as cover for Tonali till he's back, of course. Cash dived against Paqueta moments before, says Julie. I can see us buying Phillips, to be honest, says Trolls. Tonali doesn't smell because he doesn't like his teeth, says Bia. I'd be gutted if I signed Phillips. 2-0 Villa. Yeah, we don't need Smith Rowe, in my opinion, says Trolls. Buying her after Phillips. Bia says a crying De Bruyne we signed the Irish Sedan. It didn't work out well. Tony Willock should be back very soon, absolutely.
Yeah. He's posting on his Instagram that he's back soon.
Yeah. Julie says Louise double. Bruno's other Brazilian mate. No players in the Belgian league bet. Absolute angels over there, them lot. What a place, what a country.
It's a great place, great country.
Maybe Tonali left Italy because he needed to get away from that betting culture. Knew staying there, he'd been for the same environment wherever he was. This Craig. Do you know what, Craig? That's a very good point.
That's a good point, yeah.
He could, we don't know how he's been roped into this betting. It could be betting gangs. I mean, we've seen it in every sport. We've seen it in cricket mostly. You've got these betting gangs everywhere in like Africa, India, Sri Lanka, and they're all huge gangs. And, sometimes you've got to abide by their rules. And if you don't, you face the consequences. So, it was like the bowler from Pakistan who bowled 6 wides in an over. And he knew if he didn't bowl the 6 wides, that bet was going to be lost. So he had to do it for the betting gang. So they made their money. Yes, he ended up in prison through it. But that's what it is, And it's sad, but it does happen. Gary says, Roly, yes, you can't force him to sign, but he did. But did he take one for his beloved Milan, says Gary. Interesting. Yeah.
You're starting to get into conspiracy theory territory there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, look, whatever happens will happen. We just have to see it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, look, we've had Group I'm in, we've had people asking about, Dan Burns always playing every game at left back. Why does he never have a rest? Why doesn't, And I think the simple answer to that is because technically there's nobody good enough to fill Dan Burns' boots if he was out the team. I don't think Eddie Howe trusts Target completely. I mean, look, he come in and played that game for us, and I think it was against Brighton, and he was absolutely shocking. Hall is just not fit enough to start games yet, or to play a full 90 minutes. So yeah, and Dan Burn is playing absolutely out of his skin, so you can't drop him. But there's going to come a time when we do need rotation in that left back role, and I think in January we do need to explore another left back.
I mean, the other thing is he's got great condition. He's like Sean Longstaff; he just runs forever. He physically can take the minutes.
Yeah, Wayne says England unlucky in the rugby. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look, they played well. They should have won that game. They should have saw that game out. In all honesty,
it's when the South Africans made their changes in the pack. That's where they lost a bit of control because they never looked like getting back into the game until we started giving away penalties at the scrum.
If they didn't get that try, we win that game.
Yeah, but it's more that they were able to get. West Ham's got one back.
Yes, but Roly, they did this in the final in 2019.
Yeah.
They did not score a try against us. They just scored penalties because that Faf de Kleur every time was getting penalties because the way the scrums were going around.
I mean, the thing with this one, when I used to play rugby, I didn't play in the front row, but I used to play rugby. But when you get two props against each other, if one is a lot better than the other, they can force them to do anything. And once they force them down to collapse the scrum, the ref will always penalise that side. And there's nothing the other guy can do because he's not as good. And that's basically what happened. Whilst they started getting all the scrums, that's why they're always taking scrums, because they knew they're going to get a penalty, because the guy will either collapse the scrum or will be forced to stand up, which both are penalty offences. That's where they were able to get back into the game, get the penalties,
Yeah.
get into position when they scored the try. Um,
Yeah.
you've got to give them credit for they panicked because they changed their fly half in the first half, and then they made a raft of changes after sort of 5 minutes in the second half because they knew if they stayed the same they'd lose.
Craig Lee says Piquet has an investigation. He is accused of getting yellows. His family, etc. Bet on that's match fixing. Nearly nothing said. Foxy says UK is the worst for betting culture. Adverts on before the games at half time, full time. The shirts around the stadium relatively new in other parts of the world. Yeah, they're coming off front of shirts next season. Foxy says Bourne, great finish to 1. Wonderful goal by Bourne.
Yeah, it was.
Craig says wish we had Bourne. Sure, he's a Newcastle fan too. I mean, look, he's
it's a great
he's
player,
a great
but we've
player.
got great wingers as it is.
Thought this was a football channel. It is. It was just because Wayne was mentioning the rugby. Gary said, I think it smells a conspiracy. Roly, they knew it was coming. They cashed in and got him off the payroll and sold him on the cheap. It doesn't make sense. He was their golden boy. Chewy says it is trust. Craig says cattle punishment, egg chasing. What next to me? The maypole? No, don't even get me started on that. I was just confused. Wayne says spelt rugby wrong, lads. No worries, mate. No worries. We knew exactly what you meant. Alan says South African beat us. Stop more and penalties are in the game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's the second game they've won by 1 point right in the dying seconds.
It was unbelievable. He scored that penalty from way out as well.
Yeah, it was a long way out. Yeah.
So many links between West Ham and Newcastle, says Julie. Yeah, absolutely. But no, right, guys and girls, we are coming to the end of this show. But it's been a terrific show, and we briefly spoke about the England game at the start, but the main game was yesterday because football is back. The Premier League is back, and it's Champions League next up on Wednesday. Dortmund at home, so we can't wait for that one. I'm sure it's going to be a terrific game. An 8 p.m. kickoff, live on TNT Sports, or if you're lucky enough, you have a ticket and you're going to the game, do enjoy that match. But we will be back. We will have the preview. We will have the pre-match for that as well, so do stay tuned for that. So, yes, it's going to be a busy week this week. And now that I'm back from holiday, a timely holiday break, because I went on international break week, which was absolutely fantastic. If you have liked what you see, please do smash that like. It does help the channel, so thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe and be part of this great community. And that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. Roly, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, or X as they call it now, at Pole67.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Go through some comments. Foxy says, Bourne 7-year deal. He's there for the rest of his career. Yeah, because they want stupid money for him now. Troll says, hope we get Bourne in the summer would be great. Craig says, it does smell the AC Italian side. How long has the investigation gone on? Surely the Italian FA and police have a duty to inform Newcastle. Maybe they didn't know. Only mention rugby because it's England, says Wayne. Yeah, that's no problem, mate. No, that's fine. Absolutely, mate. Great show, everyone.
This goes where the chat takes us.
Yeah. That won't happen, trolls. Night says, great show, great win. See you all again after Europe. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah. Rock on Europe. We love it. Great show, guys. And roll on Dortmund, absolutely. And can't wait for Dortmund to come with. Can't wait, mate. Absolutely not. Great show, lads. Well worth it. Watch it back. Lovely. Thank you very much, Wayne. Indeed, mate. You're right. Would be great. People saying later to everybody else. By the way, we will have Tonali for years to come. We will see the best out of him. Absolutely, Mighty
Yeah,
Mag, definitely, mate. First time I bid you farewell as a member. Take care, everyone. Yep, thank you very much again for becoming a member, Gary. Cheers,
that's
mate.
correct.
I hope their fair half a season ban is enough. Yeah, absolutely, Craig. Let's hope and see what happens, but we will find out. And yeah, we shall see what the ban outcome will be. But until then, remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. It's bye bye from me.
That's goodbye from me.
Away the lads.